All right, so let's start with the dollar index, because it is very important to do so. We'll start from the monthly. Um, I'll put everything on. So pay attention to this trend line that is holding up this entire bull move, right? And look how it's happening right here. There's a transition happening right now. It's not super strong. It is only showing up on the 4 hours so far, but still, it's showing up. So I I either can go ahead and counter trend some US pairs, or I can wait for it to hit this and then come down. Um, or just focus on GJ. But for right now, because we stopped making lower highs on the 4 hour time frame and we broke it, I'm so glad I saw that head and shoulder. Look, so yesterday we were forming a little head and shoulder. You have a shoulder, we have a head, and we have a shoulder, and we have a break. So there's no way that I'm going to be like selling this at the moment, even though overall we are in a downtrend. La 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 la. So if I were to take anything, it would be like after we come back and touch this level. Right, so we know that the dollar is in a counter trend, so we can expect the other pairs to follow suit. On GU, so I saw the double top on the 4 hour, right? You came here and you went here and it didn't break, and I was like, okay, cool. So that's why I put my stop loss in profit and not break even so fast, because I am not trying to play games with this pair. Like, if it wants to continue bullish, these higher lows will not be violated. And so I kind of like got stopped out here after entering here, which is perfectly fine. I don't care. In profit, break even. It's way better than what I used to do, which was just take loss after loss. So because GU has a a double top that is clear and it makes sense, um, if I wanted to counter trend anything, it'd probably be this pair, but I would have to see it come up some. And if it doesn't come up some, I'm just leaving it alone and waiting for it to fall here and do a big ol' bullish reversal. But even then, that might take a lot of time. So, but yeah, we were in this range, and it was just because we were at a higher high, you know. So, nothing. This is what you would want. Like this is the fib for G right here. So it's not, it still has so much space to the downside. Got a lot of space to the downside. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put this right here. Because until price hits this, it's not really. So I can get rid of that. 50%. Once it hits here, I know to start looking for buys, but I still gotta wait for, you know, 4 hour to break back bullish, maybe a counter trend line break, so on and so forth. And it'd probably be the same counter trend line. Too, let me just drag it a little bit further out. Right. So this is where we're at. So yeah, there could be some potential sells today for GU. Again, I would just have to see a really nice pullback. And for GJ, um, have a bullish bias on GJ at the moment, because we are in the level that I want to come in. Like we touched the 50% level and we broke the counter trend line, and I'm like, all right, cool. I just need to see a pullback so I can actually enter in, right? And the what I needed was price to come here, and it did. It did. Thank you so much for doing your job. Let's see. So now we have like a little 1 hour fib going on. Take this off. Yes, make that linear. Let's see something. So what is the 4 hour flow right now? Lower highs maintained. Lower highs are still being maintained. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so price could definitely make a lower low. That's definitely possible. But what I want to keep my eye out for is a double bottom. And because there's a little bit of indecision on the 4 hour, I probably want to see not just price reject a level twice, but also come up and retest to go here. And if it can't do this pattern right here, then it probably is not ready to go bullish, which is perfectly fine. I don't really care. Mm, but yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. Potential buys on GJ is what I'm liking most of all, because then I wouldn't have to counter trend that. Exactly, you know? I'd rather go with something I don't have to counter trend. It's good. It's really good, baby. So potential GJ buys. Um, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like GJ kind of created a double top, like a rejection here and then a rejection in that same spot on the daily. So there's a chance that that is probably what it's going to try to do here. It's probably going to just, I don't know. We really don't even ever know what's going on. It's just a probability game. I'll make this a little bit smaller. You know, price could come down here. And if price came down here and showed me some really good movements, I will be happy because the risk to reward will be even better. It will be in a key level and maybe touch this trend line. Oh, yes, please. 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 There's no 4 hour candle that's actually encouraging me to like there's no double bottom on the 4 hour. There's no double bottom on the daily. So I'm gonna want to at least wait for just because the 4 hour is still technically bearish and that doesn't make me very comfortable. So now that we know it's already in a zone where it's eligible for buys, it's like, but is it though? You know, we have the counter trend line break and we know the overall flow, but it's just like I need to see more. I need to see more. So for gold, um, well, the funny thing is, ooh, because the dollar is actually counter trending bullish, that could cause gold to fall a little bit, which was my original analysis yesterday. Because of the daily, right? So the dailies were maintaining lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We still haven't broken this lower high. Like we're still here. And yesterday I was like, all right, cool. I think some sells could be really, really nice because of the daily flow, the key level that we were at, and the fact that price keeps rejecting this level. If price continually rejects the level, a lot of the times it's gonna go back and be like, okay, I'm actually hungry. I need to find more buyers to go ahead and break this level because I can't like it's just I don't know. I see a double top. I see a double top. Not to mention the amount of monthly wicks. Bro, fuck on my face. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and take this and take this. So GJ buys eventually, gold sells. My buys for sure, yeah. So what's going on here real quick? See, like, and the funny thing is, this was such a the sell would have been so risky, but at the same time, the confluence that I had, I thought it was pretty fine. Like, it was at a 50% zone on a big, big time frame. And you got the key level, you have the weekly consistently rejecting to the upside, you have the monthly looking insane with all these wicks. Like, what? Look at my face. I'm trying to tell y'all. So, had I gotten to a trade, this would have been it because I was looking for um hesitation. So, price made a level of resistance here and couldn't even hold it. It immediately rejected it and kind of made it look a mini head and shoulders. And the 15 minute is pretty clear. Like we had lower highs maintaining engulfings and then E did bearish. So go away. But yeah. So I'm still definitely bearish, more bearish on gold at the moment. But I would still have to wait for 9:30 before selling. I like gold, especially today, because I know the dollar is pushing bullish. And it might not stop right here because it's you have lower highs that were maintained and then we have a break. And then we're not going to turn back around until we get a double top on the 4 hour. And my target for this is okay, if price can come up here and then do a little dance and turn around, I'll go ahead and sell. But for now, it's counter trending. And that is what, damn, god damn. That's what makes gold sell so attractive to me today. So UJ, funny thing about UJ is I've always kind of been a little bit confused about the current. Because why would you have a level of support here on the weekly, a higher low, and then a higher low and engulfing? Like the weekly could so easily continue bullish. And if I look to the left, we did it here and we did it here, So that's just another thing that makes a little bit suspicious. But the monthly, it wouldn't agree with me. The monthly is completely bearish in terms of flow, right? We got a level of support here, broke, lower high, broke this level of support again. So in terms of that, I see it being very bearish, but I don't think I could sell today because of what's going on with the dollar. And it's cool. It's cool. We might be able to get some buys. Yeah, possibly. But I'm not trying to force anything or because I know how it is to force stuff just for it to eat your life. So S&P 500, nothing's interesting to me here. Hmm. I could potentially get some EU sells in, but I would rather see more of a pattern on the daily, and I don't see anything. Compared to GU, it's giving I already got a level of resistance and then an aggressive wick, not to mention the current daily that's forming. Um, but yeah. So oh, and oil. Aisle. So we had our double bottom and it's extremely bullish currently. For me to get involved, all I would want to see is this. And then I would be good. Come down here, give me a little chart pattern to prove that we're going to continue bullish, and I'll be happy with that. So all in all, the trades I'm looking at today is damn GJ buys. Okay, so GJ potential buys. Yeah. Because even if I were to see a pattern on like the 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, I understand where I am on the daily. I get that. So it could be very powerful. Looks like gold is going bullish, but like I also don't really believe that. And we got some oil buys. Those are my biases for today. All right, so what I think the dollar is currently doing is because you can't trick me. The devil is a liar. The devil has always been a liar. We have these lower highs. We broke it with bam, bam. So all I'm waiting for is so if you're gonna counter trend and take some stuff in the opposite direction, if it touches here, does a little dancey dance, like I'm a little chart pattern, I could be good for here, right? I could even be good for here. I could even be good for here. But at the same time, if you have a pair that you don't have to counter trend, it's always better to take that. So I think gold would probably make the most sense for me today. Like if I can get a double top from here, all right. What I don't like though is the fact that the whole entire 4 hour is bullish and it could just easily murder me, right? And that's why we would have to go with less than a 3% risk. GJ, I'm still looking at your hair, bro. I'm still looking at your hair. I like to use also this index, right? To kind of gauge when to get into a GJ trade, and it's been pretty helpful. So, JPY currency index, the whole thing is bearish. It's bearish. However, you see how this weekly candle closed on a key level of support. Me not gonna play with it, you know. So, because you did that, and I can see the double bottom that was formed on the daily time frame. Double bottoms, a lot of times, they mean that's gonna break. All right. So I could see price continuing back up to this level. And when it gets up here, then I think price will be more comfortable with actually going down. And then GJ will be actually comfortable with going up. So honestly, GJ buys today might not be the best until the 4 hour actually gets to a place that's safe, which is up here. Because currently it's not as safe as it could be. But you don't know. News or FOM or NFP, one of them things, they could spike it up and then could spike it right back down. But if it breaks that, I'll actually be pretty surprised. I'll be surprised if it breaks this level. And if it does, let's see what's actually happening. No, weekly still bullish. Weekly still bullish regardless. We're bullish. Wirklich. Yes, yes, good, good. Yeah. Yeah, I might not even really entertain GJ so much unless maybe. I know that'd probably be smart. So, but we don't know. We'll see. Best bet today is probably gold sells and oil buys for me. Again, I just have to wait for a retracement. So yeah. Oh, and GU, yeah, I definitely put my stop losses at break even and in profit because again, like I said, like double top. I know what double tops mean. Like you're not gonna fool me, you raggedy bitch. So yeah, and I think right now what's happening is price is getting really snug and comfy to go ahead and that's what I think. So yeah. Happy trading, y'all.